Good afternoon, Pyloners. This is Marcos Romanos. I welcome you to this Pylon community update. Today is the 12th of March. The update will be separated in two main parts. The first will be focusing on the work that we have been carrying out over the past couple of weeks since the beginning of the month. And the second will focus on the milestones and the updates that are coming up this week and until the end of the month. We have two updates regarding the milestones and one extra, which will be a surprise, which will be announced at the end of the video. So first of all, talking about our past couple of weeks, it has been a very, very intensive period for all of the team. As you might have seen in our social media, we have launched a new campaign which is related to the official announcement of the changes that are coming, are taking effect on the 1st of June of this year. Regarding the electricity tariffs of all electricity consumers in Spain. So this was officially announced at the end of February, and we practically, all the team, we made a sprint to develop a new service and launch this campaign. Where what are we doing? Basically, we are offering a free version of our tool to all Spanish consumers that can help them calculate and get an estimation of their electricity costs under the new structure of the tariffs. Now, these tariffs, the change that happened basically makes the structure of the tariff and in the end product of that, which is the electricity bill, more complex. So there is a lot of a gray area that is now created because of this change. Looking in both parts of the equation, not only the consumer that will be receiving a more complex electricity bill, but also on the side of the electricity suppliers, the company that supply the electricity, that also need to change their operational approach and also the strategy. We're going to see in the period of the next month, for sure, we're going to see some new strategies being tried out by the suppliers in order to maintain or expand their customer portfolio. And under this new tariff, there's a lot of discussion and still things that need to be clarified from the market now. So we are, with this campaign, Pylon Network, we are starting this conversation about the new tariffs, the impact that they will have on electricity consumers, and we are helping consumers understand what these changes will practically mean for them and for their pockets. So this is the campaign that we started this week. We're really proud of the work that all the team has put. We're now basically in the center of this conversation. We are driving this conversation. We will continue to do it until over the next months, until the new tariffs are actually introduced and go into effect. That was basically an overview about all this action that you might have been seeing on our social media over the past couple of weeks. Now, let's move on to the future. First of all, as I said before, we have two main updates plus one bonus. The first update is related to the smart contract, which some things have been pushed a bit forward because of all the workload from the campaign. The current status of the smart contract at the moment is ready. It's tested internally. We're making sure that everything works well. We're really doing everything in our powers to release it next week. And it will probably be towards the end of the week. As I said, the workload is still a lot, and we are trying to balance everything to achieve that. After the smart contract is released, we will also launch a program for testing it for the community, so anyone can test the new smart contract and play around, and in that way also validate even better the smart contract. So this was the first update. Now the second update has to do with the first energy community to join Pylon Network. We're very excited about this. To give you a short overview, the official announcement of the first energy community will come by the end of the month. Now there are many things still that are running in parallel related with that, like for example the new Pylon Network website coming after the reveal of the new branding of Pylon Network, which we did a couple of weeks ago. There's also the Pylon community website, which is the portal for all energy communities of Pylon Network, but also this will evolve into a portal for all Spanish energy communities. So we have very big and ambitious plans with that. And it's also related with its inauguration, let's say its first form will also coincide with the announcement of the first energy community. So this will basically play out over the next couple of or 3 weeks time. So very exciting things. Now I wanted to take this opportunity before revealing the bonus announcement, the surprise announcement. I want to take this as an opportunity to go through the updated demonstration of the first use case of Pylon Network. It's something that you might remember. Actually, 1 month ago, we released on our blog this article which explains the update that we carried out in the demo of the first use case. Now, for those of you who might not know, the first use case of Pylon Network focuses on the consent, on recording the consent of data sharing from consumers on blockchain, on the neutral data hub of Pylon Network. And today I wanted to go through the demo, so to show you how it looks in its complete form, because practically now with this update we close the circle of the consumer experience, let's say it. I will show you what I mean by that. And also the infrastructure that I'm gonna show to you at the end of this demo is the same that the first energy community and the ones following after that will use. So it will be the dashboard where all these new communities and the transactions they have with the neutral data hub will be able to be tracked. So with that said, let's begin with the first step of the demo. It's this landing page we have created, energy/data.pylon.network. There's some instructions here which explain what you need to do. Basically, the website, the landing page is a form that needs to be completed by the consumer. No, we're seeing this from the perspective of the consumer at the moment. And I'm not going to go through all these because we're going to do all the steps on this demo. I just want to highlight that this demo can be used and tried out by both Spanish and non-Spanish citizens. Why I highlight this is because in the form there's 2 fields, this CUPS number and the DNI number or CIF or NIA, which are information that only Spanish citizens would have. So this CUPS number is the unique identification number of the metering point of consumers. So every consumer have their own CUPS. And the DNI or CIF or any of these numbers are the identification number. You need to be a Spanish citizen to have this number. So for that reason, for non-Spanish citizens, we have created these dummy inputs that you can use to complete the form. So the CUPS and the CIF. So let's complete the form. That's the only thing left to do. Name and surname. As I explained, here we insert the CUPS number we have here. So do that. Then we insert the CIF number over here. it is asked to insert email address. Now it's important that you insert an address that is real and that you can access, because you will receive information on this email. So put the email address. Now the telephone number can be any 9-digit number, it doesn't matter. We check on this checkbox here, which is the privacy policy and explains how this data will be used and by who, for demonstration purposes, etc., etc. And the last field is the signature. You sign in this field and click on this light blue button, which says Guardar, and save the signature. Now, once I do that, this button unlocks. I can authorize the submission of this form to the neutral data hub of Pylon Network, which I will do happily. And once I click here, I get this verification, this notification that my data is on its way to Pylon Neutral Data Hub, and my mail, in my mail I will receive some instructions. So I go to my mail, let's do that right now. I have received an email, data to blockchain, you can see here. There's some information on the email. The important one, the important part of the email is this section, the data of your data. Here it contains all the information related to your data and to Pylon Neutral Data Hub, to the blockchain of Pylon Network. Now, as you can see here, there's the identification number of the transaction, which is a public number, let's say. The fee paid, simulating a fee of Pylon coins, which is a demonstration at the moment, and the key to decrypt. This is the important, this is like the private password that will allow you to decrypt your own data, which you now only have, you are the only one who has this password, decrypted on the neutral data hub of Pylon Network. So I copy that because we're going to need it on the next step, and we move on to the Explorer of Pylon Network by clicking on this link. Now I click on this link. Let's see if the block has been certified first of all. Yes, it has been. So this link from the mail takes me directly to the blockchain explorer of Pylon Network, and specifically to the block that contains my data. So this huge string of numbers, digits here, it's the address of the block that contains my data. So in this page, there's a lot of information about the blockchain stuff. Anyway, the important is at the bottom of the page here, which says Decrypt Data. Where in this field, obviously, we can use the private key to decrypt the data. Of course, if I don't insert the correct private key, I cannot decrypt the data. But if I insert the correct private key and I click here, we see all this information being revealed, which is basically what is the thing, all the information included in the form that I submitted on the first step. My name, my ID number, my COOPS, but at the same time, we also have the information of the entity or the company that receives my consent of sharing my data. And we see that in this case it's Pylon data. Now, moving further down, we see that there's the privacy, the acceptance of the privacy policy, and yes, what was in the checklist, basically. And we see here it says a signature. There's a huge string of digits again until all the way down here. This is the text translation of my signature as an image, as a shape. It doesn't matter. Basically, this is my signature. It's just another form. And the last field that is important is the timestamp, because this shows the exact, it certifies on the blockchain the exact point in time that I, as a consumer, provided my consent for sharing my data to another stakeholder of Pylon Network. So this is where basically the demo ends from the consumer. Now, why did we say at the beginning that we did the circle? Because we closed. Let's do a quick flashback. As a consumer, I completed this form in a very fast way and simple. Then I uploaded my this consent on the neutral data hub, I received a unique private key of which I am the only owner, so the data always remain in my control. And then we showed how this consent, even though it's on a decentralized database, it's on the neutral data hub of Pylon Network, it's still private because this information is encrypted and I have the only key, the unique key to decrypt it. Now, why is this important and what's the value for the energy sector? Because this process is the beginning of any digital service. In order to have any digital service that addresses to consumers, this process, the process of giving the consumer giving a consent of this data being shared with this service provider, is the beginning of any digital service. So if we are to talk about digital services and ecosystem of services that address the consumers, we need to talk about this. So it's a very small element, but very critical for the development of all these services. Now, last, I wanted to show you this dashboard. By the way, all the links of all these pages I'm moving through will be provided on the description of the video. So don't worry. Note that specifically this page, that is the dashboard, which gives an overview of the status of Pylon blockchain, requires a username and a password, which will also be provided in the description. Now, what do we see here? We see an overview, as I said, of all the transactions that are related to this use case. As I highlighted at the beginning of the demo, the same dashboard will be used for all the new energy communities that join Pylon Network. So keep that in mind. Yeah, this brings us to the end of the demo. So now is the time to reveal the bonus surprise update, which is that we have decided to list Pylon token into a new exchange. We will announce that by the end of month, the next 4 weeks, roughly. All the information, of course, regarding which exchange, the time, etc. At that point, we just wanted to announce that we will be moving and exploring on that direction. So I think that we covered everything. Yes, we covered everything. This takes us just to close the video. If you enjoyed it, hit us a like. You know all this. Share it with whoever you think might be interested. Thank you for your attention, and from me and everyone from the team, have a great weekend. Take care and see you soon. Bye.